Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Screenstars and welcome to my top 10 list where I discuss my favourite films of 2021. I think it's fair to say that 2021 has been a pretty decent year in regards to movies. Looking certainly at my list, there's a lot of movies on there that I've been desperately looking forward to seeing, and an awful lot of them certainly did not disappoint. So we'll get straight into it. And there's a few films that I want to mention that haven't just cracked my top 10 list that I think do deserve a mention because they were very, very good. The first one is the Nicolas Cage film Pig. I think this is a really fine return to form by Nicolas Cage in regards to acting. A lot of people kind of poke fun at Nicolas Cage for some of his low budget outings that he's done over the last few years. He's still managed to drop in a great performance and a film that raises eyebrows over the last few years. And this is definitely one. I think personally he deserves an Oscar nod for this film. His performance was that good. He probably won't get an Oscar nod, but I think it's a really good film about this pig farmer. He's got a pig who searches for truffles. Pig gets kidnapped and he ends up going to the city to try and find his pig. Sounds odd. It is odd, but it is certainly, definitely good. The next film I want to talk about is a film that definitely divided audiences this year, and that is Malignant. Now, I think I originally scored this 7 out of 10. I would actually probably bump that up to 8 out of 10 now because I've watched it a couple of times. I've just picked it up on Blu-ray because it's just been released on Blu-ray. I'll watch it again. What I liked about this film is its originality. Do all the ideas that work here in this film? No, they certainly don't, but a lot of them do, and I really do like it when we get some like original ideas thrown into genres, because sometimes we just get the same things regurgitated over and over again. Sometimes they do it well, sometimes they do it terribly. I think Malignant is a mix of both, really. It's got some great ideas. Some of them don't work, a lot of them do, and I really like this film. The next one I want to mention is a lovely film called Dream Horse. This is a film that bounced in and out of cinemas. Nobody noticed it. Toni Collette plays. It's a real life story. Plays this woman who takes on like a horse with the idea of turning it into like a race horse, so the whole community can get behind it. Like I say, it's based on a true story. It's just a really delightful film, really good feel-good film, and one that I do suggest you check out if you get the opportunity. And the last one I want to mention that hasn't made the list that I thought was really good and really inventive is Boss Level, the Joe Carnahan film that has like an action twist on the Groundhog Day format about this soldier who wakes up and relives the same day over and over again with these hitmen trying to take him out. It's just really cool and really inventive, and I really do enjoy it. It's definitely worth checking out if you haven't seen it. But coming in at number 10 on my list is The Tomorrow War, the Chris Pratt Amazon Prime film that came out earlier this year. I genuinely think this deserved a cinema release. I know I think they sold it to Amazon for something like 200 million. I think if this had been put in the cinema at the right time, it could have easily made that back and plenty more, I think. It's a crowd-pleasing film. Chris Pratt proves once again what a good leading man he is. It's got good effects, it's got good action, a decent, interesting story, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, I have to be honest. Coming in at number 9 on the list is A Quiet Place Part 2. A strong sequel following up on the, you could argue, a sleeper hit at the time. Nobody expected A Quiet Place to really do anything, and it turned out to be really one of the best, most original horrors we've had for years. The sequel does well to follow up on that. It expands on the world and still delivers some thrills and tense-filled moments as well in the film. Coming in at number 8 on the film is again another original action film. 2 original action films in 1 year. What are we doing? Hollywood. That's not what you usually do. And this is Nobody. Just a really cool, different action film where they turn like a seemingly normal guy into like an action hero. I love it when they do this in movies sometimes, turn the most unlikely person into an action star, and they really do it here. They pull it off and you believe it, about this normal guy who gets mixed up with the Russian mob and he's got to deal with that. Well, seemingly normal guy. Under the surface, there's something a little bit more going on. But it is definitely a really, really fun action film. Coming in at number 7 on the list is No Time to Die, the last outing for Daniel Craig as James Bond. Yes, it has divided some audiences, and I'm sure James Bond purists to some degree definitely didn't like that ending. And spoilers, guys, here, it was a brave decision to kill off James Bond. It was very, very impactful, but it also leaves you with the thought, how are they going to move this franchise forward now? What are they going to do? So I'm very, very interested to see what they are going to do next. But take nothing away from No Time to Die. It's a superbly crafted action film of top quality, and I really enjoyed my time watching it. So coming in at number 6, and this might surprise some people, it's Zack Snyder's Justice League. This was released initially on HBO Max and then released worldwide, on Blu-ray and all this kind of stuff. I just think this completely debunks the last Justice League. I can never watch the Joss Whedon version of Justice League anymore. For me, this is the definitive Justice League film. I thought that it was absolutely brilliant. It was epic in scope, almost 4 hours long. You could argue it was overly long. I really like films like that, especially if they fill it with really interesting stuff, and it definitely did. I thought it was absolutely superb, and I think it redeemed Zack Snyder. Not that I think he needed redeeming, but in some people's eyes he did. And I really, really thoroughly enjoyed Justice League. So coming in at number 5 on the list is Finch, another one that hasn't seen the inside of a cinema, which I think is a shame. I think this would have, again, done well in a cinema. Tom Hanks, it's set like in a post-apocalyptic future. Tom Hanks plays a guy who is terminally ill. He's got a dog as his companion, and he basically builds a robot to take care of this dog after he dies. And it's just a really good, feel-good movie at times, with an incredible central performance by Tom Hanks. But it also has a few tense moments filtered out throughout the film, basically. I just thought it was magical, this film. It really, really good, really, really moving. I promise you, you'll have a real lump in your throat watching this film. It is really, really nice. And talking about lumps in your throat, coming in at number 4 on the list is The Father, Anthony Hopkins. I don't really know what else to say. I think I gave this a 10 out of 10 in my review. Flawless, perfect. There's nothing wrong with this film, and I think Anthony Hopkins' performance here he deserved his Oscar, number 1. Some people moaned that he got the Oscar. I'm sorry, but you probably haven't seen this film if you moaned about him winning the Oscar. For me, it's one of the strongest central performances I've seen for many, many years, and I think it's the best performance of Anthony Hopkins' career. Incredible, very, very moving, especially if you've got any knowledge or experience of dementia. And the film focuses on Anthony Hopkins' character, who is suffering with dementia, and it's told from his perspective. So you see it through his eyes, and you see the confusion that he's living with. Really cool. Really, yeah. I don't know how I can praise this film anymore, really. Just watch it if you've never seen it. It's wonderful. Coming in at number 3 on my list. Now, these top 3 films here, all of them, before they came out, I'm kind of like, oh, this is going to be my film of the year, hopefully. So all 3 of these next ones have kind of been jockeying for position. But I'm comfortable with the order in which I've put them, and coming in at number 3 on my list is Dune, the Denis Villeneuve science fiction epic that didn't disappoint. It certainly didn't disappoint me, and it certainly didn't disappoint many that saw it. Improved on the David Lynch's version in almost every way, and I'm a fan of the David Lynch's version. I know it's flawed, but I do like that. I went to the cinema to see that. I'm absolutely delighted that the sequel has been greenlit due to the success of this one critically, and it has made a decent amount of money. So I'm really excited to see the second part of Dune to get the conclusion of this science fiction epic. Coming in at number 2, and I genuinely thought this was going to be my number 1 film of the year, is Ghostbusters Afterlife. Again, to some people, this has divided some audiences for whatever reasons. I just loved it. For me, it ticked every single box. The nostalgia, the feel-good factor. I thought the story was great. I can't give you an awful lot of critique on this one. I loved it, and I can't wait to watch it again. So for me, it was an absolute. They knocked it out of the park, I think, with this one, and I'm really, really delighted with what they delivered here. But coming in at number 1, and this may not be a surprise, I suspect this is going to be the number 1 for many, many people this year. It's Spider-Man No Way Home. After the year that Marvel has had, who have delivered a number of lackluster Marvel outings, I genuinely think that's fair to say. None of them particularly impressed me, even though none of them were god-awful either. Black Widow, it's alright. Shang-Chi, again, it's alright. Eternals, yeah, it's alright. And then Spider-Man No Way Home. They really, really needed this to work, and it absolutely did. It goes to show that Marvel, with the shackles off, know how to deliver films that audiences are going to love. Ticked every single box. It's one of those Marvel films you came out of the cinema absolutely buzzing afterwards, after what you'd just seen, and you couldn't wait to see it again. Brilliant Marvel film. It's probably many people's favourite Marvel film now. I know my son, who's 15, who's a big fan of the Marvel films, he went to see this, and immediately after he says, that's my favourite Marvel film, that's it. I think there's a debate to be had, but I think they absolutely delivered and knocked it out of the park, Marvel, with this one, and delivered a fantastic Spider-Man film. So there you go, guys. That is my top 10 favourite films of 2021. I think when you look at this list, there's been some very, very good films this year. Definitely improvement over 2020, and I can't wait for 2022. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for all your support this last 12 months and beyond, and I can't wait to see what 2022 brings us.